This is Full Time. Welcome into the now famous lunchroom here in downtown Los Angeles, where LAFC gets all their work done. My final group stage Champions League recap. 2019, match day 6 in the books. I got a lot to talk about, including, as I've done in every round, my top 5 teams after what we've seen. So this will be including all 6 round games. So heading into the knockout stages next year, here's my top 5. That's ahead. But a lot stood out that I want to discuss. I like the plucky upstarts. You know, I always was intrigued when Zenit St. Petersburg and Shakhtar Donetsk was spending money, Olympiacos, and one of these teams would maybe make a quarterfinal. Ajax of the Eredivisie in Holland, a league with a great history, but let's face it, not a major league. Making the semifinals. I can't tell you how much that filled me emotionally. We're not gonna have that this year. Final 16 is set, and all 16 teams are from the top 5 European leagues: England, Italy, Spain, Germany, France. French league, which a lot of people would question whether you consider it a top league, but when you have PSG and Lyon is a regular in the knockout stages, and they made it again here, which is an incredible achievement. You hope Marseille, but this is not about the French league. Well, it'll be maintained as a major league. So all 16 teams, for the first time ever, are from those top 5 leagues. I think this is the direction a lot of people thought it would be going. You know, last year we had 5 English teams in there after Manchester United won the Europa League, so there's a possibility that all 5 made it. This time around, all 4 English teams made it, all 4 Spanish teams made it. Germany got 3, Italy got 3, France got 2. So there we go. So it's gonna be a little different. I hope we can get back to that, because when Ajax made the semis, the narrative was a lot of teams. This is the beginning of a new era where we'll see these teams. Eastern European teams, dreadful. Not only failing to make the knockouts, failing to make the Europa League. Zenit St. Petersburg, Shakhtar Donetsk, losing by 3 goals to Atalanta at home. Those are alarm bells. These are for leagues that spend money, maybe not as much as they used to, but they are not relevant anymore. And that's a big problem, because you want the Champions League of Europe to feel encompassing, but instead it's very Western European, and we'll move on. And I'm excited about the round of 16. I like to see that variety. Hopefully it comes back next season. We are going to look at some of the things that have happened in this match day 6 specifically, and who sees that opportunity. No one sees it any better than Atalanta of Bergamo, who did something remarkable by qualifying for the Champions League next season. And they struggled in the Serie A after having to be responsible for 2 competitions. But they're doing better in the Italian league now, and now they're through to the round of 16 and made it all worthwhile. This could be an Ajax type team. I don't think they're going to go further than the round of 16, but making it there, and not only getting by Shakhtar, but you know they did very well. Manchester City getting a point against them. This is a team well equipped to be competitive in that next round of 16. So they really seized the opportunity. I've been very impressed with Atalanta, and it's inspiring, because I think when Atalanta made the tournament, you're going, this is going to derail them. They might struggle in Champions League and fall right off the back of the Serie A. We've seen it in other leagues where a team that's not supposed to be in there all of a sudden finds themselves in 15th place in their domestic league, and the good times are over. Not Atalanta. So that is very good that they were able to grab that opportunity and push forward. The other team is Valencia, and all 4 Spanish teams make it through. Valencia winning in Amsterdam over Ajax and flipping that group altogether as they moved ahead of Chelsea as well to win the group. And winning the group is huge, because it helps your chances of making a quarterfinal, because you're going to avoid the big boys. You know who they are. So Valencia do that. I'm really impressed with what they have done. Danny Parejo is a great number 10. Rodrigo, a great winger. Gabriel Paulista, owned by Arsenal, he's playing defense. I imagine he might be on his way back there at some point. Is a real good player. Ferran Torres, teenage player. Valencia got it. They are currently, I believe, 8th in Spain, but only 1 point out of the top 4. So they could still get back into the Champions League through their league play. So they're very well poised. That was a big time to win at Ajax, and this is the thing. Ajax, I think everyone assumed that they would be making the round of 16, and we wouldn't start full-time here today talking about how there are no teams from outside the Big Five leagues. Instead, Valencia turned it in a surprising result, and along with Atalanta, really seized the day in match day 6. The disappointing, no doubt about it, and it was a tough spot. Leipzig also winning their group, so Valencia and Leipzig winning their groups will make things interesting in the round of 16. The draw will be fascinating, obviously, and we'll figure out what we got when we get to the round of 16 early next year. The biggest disappointment was Inter. They needed the result at home against Barcelona. Barcelona not feeling their strongest side, but close to full strength, and they got the win. And Inter, who have seen so much progress, they are the leaders in the Serie A. Antonio Conte, great coach. That's the biggest disappointment, but what would have it done? They would have gone in at the expense of a German team. Instead, Dortmund gets through. Inter has to be hugely disappointed that Atalanta is through, and they're going home. The good news, the silver lining, is that now Inter can focus on winning the Scudetto in Italy, which would be a huge achievement after the domination of Juventus, who we'll be talking about here in a little bit. So it wasn't the dramatic final match day 6 that we've seen in years past. It was pretty cut and dry, and you know what? I told you that at the beginning. I said the knockouts are going to be great because so many teams can win it, but the group stages may suffer a bit, and we saw that. And I was hoping to be wrong on that because I wanted to see some surprises. Teams like Red Star Belgrade, that I was kind of, they could be an interesting squad, and they came close, but never really got to do it. All right, let's go into it. My top 5 teams after match day 6. Here we go. Number 5, Juventus. They get just in front of Manchester City here. Manchester City in a very easy group. Some people just trying to ruin my Christmas shot. I don't want to mention any names, but Pat Aviles. Trying to enhance. My top 5 teams. Let's start all over again. You're all right. Look at this. This is live TV, folks. Manchester City misses out my top 5 because they were an easier group. Not that they didn't look impressive, and I think Manchester City will be one of the 2 or 3 teams that can win this on that top line. But they'll be 6. Don't hold it against me. Don't at me. So Juventus nudges City, who I think City have a better chance of winning it than Juventus. Juventus started the group stages by drawing with Atletico and afterwards win 5 straight games. Dybala and Ronaldo playing together hasn't really worked. A little better than it has in the past, but we've seen enough. Very good defensively, and Juventus will make the top 5, which is good. They could win it, but I like the team last year better a little bit. Number 4, Barcelona. Haven't scored enough goals in the Champions League. They've just got 9 goals. They were not a top 5 team when I did this after the last match day, so they're in there and they move up to 4. They may have won the most difficult group, finishing ahead of Dortmund and Inter. 2 wins over Inter and just decimated their prospects, and they also got a win against Dortmund. They need to score more goals, but they're doing great in Spain. Lionel Messi looks happy. This may be a better equipped Barcelona team to make a run that we've seen in last years, which of course has worked. You heard that from me as well, and I was right every time. Let's glow on that a little bit. Number 3, Paris Saint-Germain. I know everyone's going to be very reluctant to say that this is a team that can win it. I think they can. Neymar coming in and scoring a goal in the win over Galatasaray. Kylian Mbappe setting him up. That is great optics if you're a fan in Paris. 2 goals allowed in the groups. Was it 2? Yeah, it's 2, and they led them to Real Madrid. So they didn't allow a goal in all their other games. Unbelievable defensive record. Angel Di Maria dipped his toe in the fountain of youth. They are very good. I think at the very least they're a semi-finalist. Number 2, Liverpool. They moved up the list here. They had issues with Napoli in the group, which can be forgiven. Napoli, a very difficult opponent, with or without Carlo Ancelotti. I was impressed with what they did against Salzburg. Salzburg, a talented team with so much to play for, with an incredible home record, and Liverpool beat them 2-0, could have been 4 or 5. Liverpool can defend their title. They really can. and they play an exhilarating style of football that a lot of teams just can't keep up with. And that's the facts. Number one is Bayern Munich. 6 wins out of 6. Only team with a perfect record. Only 2 other teams had 5 wins out of 6. 24 goals, absolutely irresistible. And they have an interim coach. So by the way, that's 4 goals per game. This is going to be an interesting story for 2020. What does Bayern do? They're struggling in the Bundesliga. I believe they're in 7th. And do they go with a high-profile coach? The coaching carousel, we hear Pep Guardiola's name, but he ain't coming at early 2020. They have a really good team. You don't want to waste this. This is a really strong team. Based on what happened in the group stages, thumping Spurs again. Bayern, I don't know what they do. Look, the coaching carousel is in full tilt, and everyone's getting their desired guys. Jose Mourinho here, where Pochettino sits. Big questions, but Bayern Munich have to find the right guy. Or maybe they stay with the interim coach. Either way, they're number 1 on my list. That's all the time. We'll see you in early 2020 for the Champions League knockout stages. I, for one, cannot wait. I know you're with me. Please subscribe to Full Time. Tell your friends. This is where you hear things no one else is talking about. Because I'm the soccer OG, and I speak the gospel.